I overheard my girlfriend harshly mocking me in front of her best friend, outright crudely. My girlfriend's name is Jenna. She's 28, and we've been together for just over 2 years. I'm 33, a veterinarian, and we met at my workplace. She had just moved to town and brought her dog in for an ear infection. We started talking, and a 15-minute appointment turned into an hour-long conversation. I'd never been so enchanted by a woman before. Yes, I had been living the bachelor life and had begun to think I would stay single forever. Although my lifestyle, consisting of casual fleeting connections, was becoming increasingly dull and empty. Jenna is a charismatic woman with lots of friends. Her best friend, a guy named Dylan whom she's known for a long time, is someone I trust Jenna with, but I'd be lying if I said their relationship doesn't bother me at all. I don't get mad or argue with her about it. She reassured me that they have been friends all their life, and there's never been anything sexual between them. I'm confident enough to accept their friendship, and I even tried to befriend Dylan. He's visited our city 3 times. He's a cool guy, but it seems he doesn't like me much. Jenna says he's just protective of her, but in my opinion, it seems more like jealousy than protection. Jenna just finished her postgraduate studies this spring and found it very tough to get a job. We've been living together for a year, and I understand that she can't help with the rent and other expenses yet. I'm financially well off, so it's not a problem, but I don't want my comfort to be a reason for her inactivity in job hunting because I believe it's important for everyone to have financial independence. Hence, I made it clear that she should start paying half the expenses once she finds a job. On Monday, she wrote to me that she got a job, the one she really wanted, and had to go through a tough interview for. I was so happy and proud of her that I decided to leave work early, leaving things to my staff, without telling Jenna. I bought her favorite alcohol, got Chinese food, also her favorite, and bought flowers. A few weeks ago, Jenna saw a beautiful necklace in a store, which she really liked. It wasn't too expensive, but had a shark on it, and she's absolutely crazy about anything to do with sharks. I bought it and hid it in the basement, planning to surprise her with it later when she had forgotten about its existence. When I got home, I entered through the side entrance to the basement to get the necklace and then surprise her. As I climbed the stairs from the basement and opened the door, I heard Jenna talking on the phone. Normally I wouldn't eavesdrop, but I heard her laughing to tears, which was sweet, and I decided to wait until she finished the conversation to make the surprise. She was talking to Dylan, nothing new. They talk at least once a week. But then I heard what they were laughing about. It took me a few moments to realize she was laughing about our intimate life. She said something like, "No, he doesn't even come close to my ex. The ex was at least 8 centimeters bigger. Every time I eat a tiny carrot, I feel sorry for him because it must be traumatic for him as I bite into something of the same size. It would have been almost cute if it weren't so terrible. He has an amazing body until he takes off his boxers." Lots of laughter. Listen, I don't care what people on the internet think about the size of my manhood, but I think it's important to say that what she laughed about doesn't even correspond to reality. And that, in my opinion, makes her words even more painful. I don't know about her ex, maybe he was a giant, but I have an average size, just the good old average schlong. I won't embellish it, it's nothing out of the ordinary, but also not a reason for mockery. I've never had a complex about it, but listening to my girlfriend discuss me with her friend, about whom I already had doubts, was simply beyond offensive. Offensive doesn't even begin to convey my feelings. She also mocked me for being handsome, but not particularly smart. Well, I am actually very educated, and this doesn't bother me at all. I know I'm smart, good-looking, and super intelligent with an average-sized penis. After that, I just left. Did I throw the flowers out of the car window? Yes. Did I cry in the parking lot? Yes. I think she heard the basement door close, or maybe saw my car drive away because she quickly started sending me messages, asking when I would come home. This happened on Monday, and I still haven't brought up the subject with her. I don't know how to do it. I think I'm still digesting what happened. It's incredibly awkward and painful, but damn, I love this girl. I know I need to talk to her about this, but how? Do you have any advice on how to start this conversation? I'm very hurt and not sure if I can forgive her for this. I want to add that I definitely plan to break up with Jenna. Today, I met with 3 friends for a beer and told them about what happened. Their opinion aligned with yours, to break up and do it quickly. I called my mom and told her everything. Yes, I told her everything, although it was embarrassing. We are very close, and I wanted to explain everything to her. I've never heard her so angry. She knew I had bought a ring for Jenna. I'll update when everything is done, most likely tomorrow. Emotionally, I'll be pretty devastated. Again, thank you for all the comments and supportive messages. I didn't expect so many people to be on my side. Update: well, I showed resilience and broke up with Jenna on Thursday evening. These were, honestly, some of the most dramatic days of my life. I was completely shaken by Jenna's behavior. It turned out to be quite ugly. Sorry for the long text, but a lot happened. Following the advice of friends, my brother, and many of you, I decided to talk to her in a public place. The logic was that a person who can be so cruel and deceitful might potentially turn everything upside down and claim that she left me because I was abusive or something absurd. I would like to believe she would do nothing like this, but who knows, especially after everything that has happened. Better to be safe. I thought about just packing her things and ending the relationship without explanation, but after 2 years together, I decided it would be better to talk to her calmly and listen to her if she had an explanation. I wanted to hear her out, even if it wouldn't change my decision to break up. So, I took her to a wine bar downtown where there are small private booths with curtains. From Monday, Jenna acted like an angel. This tells me one of 3 possibilities. A. She felt guilty about her malicious behavior. B. Thought I might have hurt her. Or C. Just noticed that I was distant and had no idea why. She dressed up very nicely, and despite everything that happened, I must admit she looked stunning. Jenna was also very affectionate and kept making suggestive comments about what she wanted to do with me later. Usually, my dear little carrot baby, yes, I can still joke about this, would have been thrilled, but under the circumstances, it was hard to hear and stay calm. I had rehearsed many times what I intended to say, so as soon as we sat down and our wine was served, I began to speak. I don't remember everything word for word because my adrenaline was off the charts blurred. I started by telling her how much I loved her, that she was the only woman with whom I felt such a deep connection, that I had opened up to her completely and trusted her. I told her she was the only woman I thought about in terms of marriage, for whom I went ring shopping. I didn't mention that I had already bought it, and how I had envisioned us starting a family in the next few years. She kept interrupting me with phrases like, "Oh, how sweet," or telling me how much she loved me. Then I looked her straight in the eyes and asked her bluntly, if she loves me so much, why did she mock me so terribly in front of Dylan? The expression on her face gave me some satisfaction, as expected. Jenna initially denied everything and acted as if she had no idea what I was talking about. She said that Dylan knows how much she loves me, and that she had never mocked me in a conversation with him. I just looked at her and said something like, "Come on, Jenna." But even after I mentioned that I had come home early on Monday and heard everything, she continued to deny it. This was quite infuriatingly calm. I just told her that we both know she's lying, and that what she said is unforgivable. I can't understand why she would say such things at all, especially but particularly because she lied just to laugh at me. Jenna continued to deny and act as if I was crazy. She said she loves me so much that she has never been unhappy with our intimate life, that she would never complain about my size, that she knows how smart and caring I am, and that's exactly why she loves me. If I hadn't heard with my own ears what she said, I might have believed her. Give her an Oscar for such a performance. Some commenters asked if I was sure she was talking about me when I overheard her. When she mentioned her ex and his kraken, she mentioned my name comparing me to him. I am absolutely certain she was talking about me, and that she lied to my face. I told her I would take us home, so she could pack the essentials from her place. My brother and his wife would be there too. I wanted there to be witnesses who could confirm that I let her take her things and didn't do anything aggressive. I said I would pack the rest and leave it outside so she could pick it up whenever it was convenient for her. Jenna was in total shock that I was actually breaking up with her. She pleaded with me to reconsider, but the decision had been made, and I was not going to change it. It was hard to hold back tears when she talked about how much she wanted to be with me for life, and that she had planned to be the mother of my children. She kept asking what she should do now, and where she should sleep. I told her that was no longer my problem, and that she had plenty of friends she could stay with until she found her own place. Practically all the furniture and decor in the house were mine. She only needed to take clothes, toiletries, and other small items. All the house renovations she had made had been paid for by me. Then the tears started. Jenna began crying and saying that she didn't understand how I could do this to her. She repeated 1,000,000 times that she thought I was a good guy. I said I am a good guy, which is exactly why I didn't throw her stuff on the lawn, change the locks, and leave no explanations. And swear, this woman managed to plunge the knife in deeper. She said she didn't know why she said all that to Dylan, finally admitting it, and maybe it was because with Dylan she could laugh at things that otherwise would have made her cry. Presumably, this was about my penis. This was raw, and normally I don't stoop to biting comments, but I told her she could return to her hometown and live with her made-up or her ex-boyfriend with his 23-centimeter manhood. It was astonishing to see how quickly her tears disappeared. Obviously, I'm the villain. I don't know how to treat women, I'm a loser, I have a small schlong, and I'll stay single forever. She never loved me, and saw me more as a friend, but didn't want to hurt me, so she stayed with me. Logically, right? She said that if I had proposed again, she would have called me a loser and a bastard, and in case I didn't understand the first time, she confirmed again what she meant by comparing my reproductive organ to a mini carrot. Oh yes, and I'll die alone. I told her dying alone is better than dying married to a woman who doesn't love or respect me. No kidding. She started screaming, not saying anything, just letting out a long, incredibly loud scream. It was creepy, and then she just ran out, calling me a despicable pig. After I paid the bill and apologized to the waiter for the drama, I went outside and saw that Jenna was just standing there crying. I understand that what she did was awful, and all the things she said in the last few minutes were terrible too, but I still felt bad seeing her in that state. I didn't want to just leave her on the street, especially as it was quite cold by then, so I told her I could drive her back home so she could pack her things, but she had to leave and stay somewhere else as soon as she packed her bag. She agreed, and we drove home in silence. It was an incredibly awkward trip. When we got home, my brother and his wife were there. His wife stayed inside while Jenna packed her things, and my brother waited with me outside. This process went quite smoothly, and Jenny was informed that her things were waiting for her on the porch and that she should pick them up while I was at work all day. I hadn't heard anything from Jenna until it was time for me to return home from work. She sent me a rather malicious message wishing me all the misfortunes one can wish on a person. I didn't respond. When I got home, I found utter chaos. Everything was smashed. I don't know if Jenna made a duplicate key I didn't know about, or if she knows how to pick locks, but somehow she got into the house and trashed it. She broke irreplaceable items, tore up furniture, trashed the kitchen. Everything was destroyed. The only good thing she did was lock my 2 dogs in one of the rooms, probably so they wouldn't cut themselves on broken glass or eat any food. I have 2 cars, one for everyday use and an SUV for work. I use the SUV for house calls when, for instance, I need to transport a large or exotic animal to the clinic. Amid all this drama, I had forgotten that I gave her the keys to the SUV in case she ever had an emergency. I went out to check the car, and she had destroyed it too. Inside, there was scattered flour and spilled tomato sauce. Items, just items. Probably what shocked me the most was the fact that she could do something so infantile and disgusting after everything. I was just in shock. Just last weekend, I took her to a play, we walked with friends, played Monopoly, and even invented our own drinking game. We watched Netflix, made love several times, and now my house and car are destroyed, and I am completely distraught. It's amazing how everything can change in such a short time. Not the most honorable act on my part, but I was so angry that I immediately went online to a carrot delivery site and ordered 20 packages of tiny carrots, each 2 kilograms, addressed to Jenny at her friend's address. 40 kilograms of mini carrots. They deliver within an hour. That evening, I received a mass of interesting and offensive messages from Jenna. Yes, it was petty, but I don't regret it, except that it was a useless waste of food. I hope she donates the carrots or cooks something with them. That's all. I blocked Jenna. She really was cruel, and I know I deserve better. Since Monday, I have thought a lot about myself as a partner and tried to understand what could have led to Jenna apparently harboring grievances or dissatisfaction towards me. I'll be honest, I work a lot. I try to find time for everyone I love, and try not to bring home any negativity if the day at work was tough. But sometimes it still happens, I admit that. Jenna and I argued about this before, and I really tried to structure my day so that I would come home at a reasonable time and leave tough days behind. However, anyone who works as a veterinarian or knows someone in this profession understands that we are always on call because of emergencies. Sometimes we have patients that need to be checked on or stayed with overnight. Taking a day off can be difficult. It's possible but hard. I have an incredible staff who can handle most situations, but even on vacation or a day off, I still get calls or messages. I am sure there were times when Jenna felt she was second to my work. I know that was the case, she told me so. I tried to change, but there are limits to what can be done. As far as I remember, I was never intentionally mean or harsh with Jenna. There were bad days when I was irritable or distant. We had disputes and disagreements, but nothing unhealthy or toxic. I really thought we had a strong relationship and that we were both happy. I was certainly happy. It's hard not to doubt oneself and wonder if I was really a disappointment or neglected her to the extent that she felt so unloved as to act this way. I don't know, but I do know that regardless of that, her words and behavior were completely unacceptable. I didn't deserve that, and it's on her conscience. Short update. I filed a police report and took photos of the trashed house, which I hope will help compensate for some of the damages through the insurance company. As for the police, it's unlikely anything will come of it since I can't prove it was Jenna. Honestly, I don't want to see her anymore. I hope the insurance will cover the damage, and I'll just move on. Well, definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this whole story. Every time you listen to stories, you wonder if your girlfriend is really good or if she would act like Jenna in case of a breakup. It's very sad. Anyway, thanks for watching this video to the end. Watch our previous video, which you will see here. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch our new stories here.